So let's just move on to our stretches. So I want to start with we're gonna push. I'm pushing towards my left sides of my fingers. So really try and make sure that your knuckles are on the same are at the same level when you do this. Okay. If you go too high up, you're gonna put even more unnecessary pressure. So I just go from my knuckles here. Just push back as far as you can. You'll feel it on the inside part of good. And then we're just gonna bend down from here. So I like grabbing just where just on this plane here, and then just pushing down slightly, depending on like how flexible you are in your knuckles. You don't want to go too far. Okay. Okay. Other side. For me, it's always the pinky that can actually get pushed quite a lot more. So I try and focus on that one. The index finger doesn't move a lot for me, so I don't tend to put a lot of pressure on that one. So if you can see, it's actually quite like this when I do mine. So all my other fingers are pushed it downwards quite a lot more. Good. So now same thing with the thumb, but this time I'm gonna use the palm of my hand to just bring my thumb back, like so. Really make sure you have your hand open as well, so you don't want to do this with a closed hand because then that's gonna engage the uh, the the muscles in the wrist. So I try and have it open hand, trying to relax as much as I can. Good. Now, same thing. For this one, you don't want to go at the base of the thumb. You want to go like right behind the knuckle, so you push forward from there. So it should look just like this. Okay, good. Let's do the other hand. So, other thumb, I mean. So just pushing back with the palm of your hand stretched out wide as far as you can. So I'll go closer, actually, just like this. Good. And then just push forward straight from behind the knuckle. Good. So, next one, we're gonna go back to this position, but you're just gonna move from side to side, and eventually, hopefully, if you get really flexible fingers, you can sort of make it look like a wave. So that's the idea behind it. At first, your fingers might not be flexible enough, so it just looks like this, like a ticking clock, side to side. Eventually, you want to bend from each individual knuckle, so it looks more like a wave. So I like doing that one just so if I do a lot of writing and stuff, my hands tend to tense up quite a bit. So that one just really helps for that. Next, we'll move on to the wrist. So grabbing from the base of the wrist, hand on top, we're gonna pull and then push inwards. Remember, you don't need to push as much with this one. Okay. If you push too hard, one, you could dislocate your wrist or break your wrist. So yeah, just do enough that you feel enough pressure on the back of on the back of your palm. Good. Let's do the other side. So grabbing from the base, pulling, and then pushing downwards. Very good. Next one, grabbing from the, the knuckles here. So I'm going palm to palm, but you can see I'm making like a cross with it. So I extend my hand as far back as I can and then pull back from my knuckles. Nice, very good. Let's do the next one. So once again, I'm using my left hand, right hand goes on top. I extend my hand first and then pull back from here. Nice, very good. So grabbing from the base of the wrist again, but from with the making a fist with your hand. The other one grabs at the base. Try and grab as hard as you can at the base, and then just rotate. Try and make it as big as you can. Okay, opposite direction. Good. Other side. So once again, fist first, making the grabbing from the base of the wrist, and then rotating from there. Okay, opposite direction. Nice. Very good. Uh, Next one, we're gonna move on to um, just a more seated position, so that um, my fingers are not going to be pointed forward. They're actually going to be pointed back, so that I'm sitting over top of my wrist just a little bit. Okay. So this one's gonna work more the a little bit on the wrist, but um, we're trying to target the muscles in your forearm. Okay, so just straight from here, you're moving back ever so slightly and really trying to put all that pressure downwards into the ground. Remember, if that's too much, you can put your hands a little bit more forward so you're not putting that much strain on your forearms. And then you can go back from here. So whether your wrists are more in front of your knees or more below, this one here is going to uh, really put more pressure on your forearms. Very good. Good. So next one we can do on the ground. So I want to get onto my hands and knees. My hands are gonna be just more outstretched than normal when we do our cat-cow movements. So when you sit back here, just try and extend your hands as far as you go. If you feel like your hands are slipping, just go back, readjust, and sit back. Making sure you're not looking at your hands. You want to put your head on the ground. You want to put your head on the ground, and then when your head is completely on the ground, you want it to try and touch your shoulder blades together, just over top of your spine. Very good. Move forward one more time. Have your hands a little bit more forward, and then sit back here. Very good. So same sort of position, but this time my right hand is going to go underneath my my left arm so that I'm turning to the side. My head should not be behind my shoulder. It should be like more underneath. So that I'm twisting just a little bit. But the idea is to stack my shoulders as much as I can. Very good. Other side. So replacing your right hand on the ground, left hand underneath, and turn. Nice, very good. Okay, good. So next one, we're gonna be laying on the ground. My hand is gonna be outstretched. So my right hand is actually gonna be outstretched for this one. Yeah, you can still see me. So right here, I'm trying to just make sure that my elbow is turned completely to the ground. So if I want to bend my elbow, it's pointed towards the ceiling. Okay, and then I look back over my shoulder and I can push off to direct how much weight you're going to put. So the more you open your knee, the more weight's going to be put on your shoulder. The farther apart you put your legs, the more weight is going to be put on your shoulder. Nice, very good. Let's go to the opposite side. So left hand on the ground, turning. Nice, very good. Next one, we're gonna interlock our fingers from behind our back. Okay. So normally, I tell you to just lift straight from here. If you do have something you could put your hands on, it actually is a little bit easier. Or if you have a partner, they can help you. So for this one, I normally, if you want to use something here, back straight, and then you just sort of sit down as much as you can. But just like before, your you want to keep your chest forward, so you're not bringing your shoulders forward. You're keeping your shoulders back, and then as much as you can, just try and sit down even more. Once your hips start going away from where you're putting your hands, you're starting to put more pressure, but try not to, still same thing, try not to keep your curl your back, try to keep your back straight as much as possible. Very good. Ease off of that one. So interlocking your fingers, we're gonna push from up here again. So um, for me, the problem is in my right shoulder. So you might see me grab my wrist instead. Okay, it's the same idea here. Okay, but sometimes if you do feel that pain, okay, you just reinforce with your hand and try and stretch out forwards like this. So remember keeping your back nice and straight. So for this one, we're just gonna push our shoulders up and then make slow movements almost from your feet up to about your chest level, and then just keep the movement straight from there. Good. Now we're gonna uh, make the movement a little bit higher. So start from your shoulder level and then go up to about over top of your head, but not when your wrists are directly over top of your head. If you want to use a guide, do it up until you can't. When you're staring straight forward, you can't. You can barely see your hands with your peripheral vision. Okay, good. Now we'll go from there all the way up. So just at the edge of your peripheral vision, and then up over top of your head. Nice, very good. Okay, good. Next one, my arm is gonna go across my body, and then I just pull back from my elbow. Okay, so for this one, really try and make sure you're not turning your body as much. Your arm, you're literally just putting your arm across and pulling back from your elbow. So there should be no like twist in your spine when you're doing this one. You're just pulling back. It's not gonna go as far, but you are trying to reach these muscles right here. So you can't really do that if you're turning your side. And then even from here, you can move your hand up and down just a tiny bit so that you start seeing where your different muscle groups. Well, it's the same muscle group, but you can see you can still get some momentum in your shoulder even when it's across like this. Good. Let's go to the other side. So pull across first. Stay there for a couple seconds. And then you can start moving up and down. The movement shouldn't be like really extreme. Okay. It's maybe just 1 or 2 centimeters. Nice. Very good. So next one, hands uh, back in the prayer hands. We're gonna have our hands behind ourselves, and I want to try and bring my hands. I want to try and bring my hands as far back towards my back as possible. So I can even do this with the back of my hands to feel a little bit more. If this if this is difficult for you, okay, sorry, with the back of the palms facing inwards, okay, just stay with this one and really try and bring your elbows close together. So when you're here, trying to bring your hand as down underneath your back as possible, trying to relax your neck and shoulder muscles. Or you can go with the back of your palms. Nice, very good. So, because the neck is connected to the shoulders, we'll do our neck as well. So, once again, interlocking your fingers, we're gonna go here and then pull forward. Not really pull, but use the weight of your hands. Keep your back as straight as you can. Very good. Pushing up, okay, making sure you're not pushing straight up from your chin. You're trying to push it out, like so. Very good. So I'm gonna use my right hand to go over top of my head, grabbing my ear, and just pulling from the side. Uh, yeah, you can use your hand as a guide. if you're unsure about whether you're bending your back. Nice, very good. Let's go towards the other side. Nice, very good. Okay, good. So, next one we will do our cat cow movements, but this time we're gonna try and do it into a roll, so it's not just here and then coming back. I want to roll into it so you can see. Uh, I start from my head because it's a little bit easier than really going backwards from here. So my head goes down, my shoulders come back. As I dip, I look up towards the ceiling. I push. Okay. Once I extend completely, my head goes back down. I drop into my shoulders. My spine is still upwards like this, and then I try and move. For this one, you want to go as slow as you possibly can so you're actually feeling each individual movement. So when you're here, you're sinking in first, trying to make sure you're not bending your elbows. When you feel like you can't sink deeper, start bending your back, push up once your gaze is up towards the sky. Then bring your gaze back down, dipping into your shoulders. Just before you start bending your elbows, start bending your back. Once you bend your back, you can see your gaze naturally comes up. Just keep focusing on that for a couple times. Very good. Stay at the top. Very nice. And then moving down, taking deep breaths, and then breathing out. Very good. So, next one, we're gonna do this on our back. So just be careful for whatever surface you're on. Okay. So first one will be just putting your right foot over top of your left knee, lifting your hips just ever so slightly. Try not to disconnect the back of your the lower part of your spine on the ground. Go here and then pull from your knee. You're not trying to lift your hips off the ground. You're just trying to pull your knee down into yourself. Very good. Now you're just gonna slide your foot so that your knees are stacked over top of each other as much as you can. Okay. Grab around both knees and then pull inwards. If you can only make it like halfway to your shin, that's fine enough. Okay. It doesn't have to stack all the way. You're just making sure that your foot is actually not on your knee anymore. It's more your actual calf muscle is now on your knee and you're pulling back from there. Okay, good. Ease off. Okay, going to the other side. Left foot on the knee, both hands through, and pulling back from here. Very good. Just slide your foot across now as much as you can, and then pull inwards. Mhm. Nice, very good. Okay, so next one, my knees are going to be at 90-degree angles. So trying not to bring your knees too far up. Okay, it's all right if you do. Okay, we're just trying to keep it here and then move our legs from side to side. So from this angle here, feet are up. You can use your hands to make sure you direct this. You support how much weight you're gonna put onto your hips. If you need to too, you can just bend your feet so that they're like this. Okay, depending on if you're putting too much pressure on your knees. So right here, just turn. Trying to make sure your shoulder doesn't disconnect from the ground. Once it disconnects, you gotta go back and just reach that edge where your shoulder is no longer disconnecting. And then move to the other side, find that edge, and then that's gonna be your range for you to move from side to side. Nice, very good. So straight from here, we're going to do hip raises. Okay, trying to focus a little on our back. So when I'm here, trying to push up my stomach as much as I can with a deep breath. As I exhale, relax all my muscles. Let that tension go. Try and breathe out as much as you can. When you go up, breathe in with your stomach and hold. And then release. Nice and slow. Once again, breathing in and out. Last time, breathing in and breathing out. Nice, very good. So, next one. Oh, yes. So left leg straight. Let me see how much time I have. Okay, cool. Our left leg's gonna be straight. Our right leg's gonna be over top. Okay, right hand on the ground, making sure that you stack your hips first, and then just use the weight of your hand to bring your knee to the ground. Remember, you're not trying to bring your knee all the way to the ground. You're just using the weight of your hand so you feel a little bit of stretch on your spine. Good. Switch sides. So right leg straight this time. Left leg over. Left hand extended. Stack your hips. And then pull. Good. Now straight from here.